Starting today and throughout the Olympics, we will be airing stories for our new series showcasing East Texans, just like the athletes in Paris who have gone above and beyond in their respective fields.
The Caldwell Zoo has a rich history in the Rose City, and one recent retiree was at the heart of most of it. KETK's Tyler Henderson joins us to share more about his career. Tyler.
Casey, Isaac, Mike Tucker is one of the most humble people I've ever met. One of the kindest men I've ever got to spend some time with, too. He spent 40 plus years as a staple of the zoo, and I was able to meet up with Mike on his last day. Got to reminisce some of the good times, talk about the imprint that he left in the zoo, and sharing just a little bit of our shared passion for wildlife conservation and education as well. We met back up with him on his first trip through the zoo since he became a full-time granddad. There's always something new to view at the Caldwell Zoo.
A giraffe have always impressed me.
From the screech of the bald eagle, the sounds of children, looking on in amazement as they feed a giraffe for the first time.
I've always wanted the zoo to be an educational experience, an experience where people learn through having fun.
It just feels natural for both the visitors and the animals that call Tyler home.
If we made it have a flavor of Africa, they would pick that up and learn that as they went through and enjoyed the new exhibit. And that was the whole point.
Intentionally designed that way by Mike Tucker.
They've been breeding here for decades.
Through a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Hayes, myself, and one of the architects went to Africa to investigate what it looked like in the wild so we could bring it back and do a good job with this East African area.
From the smallest of details like the layout of the wooden panels on the exhibits.
And we've got cedar posts on top and allow them to lose their bark and kind of hang down on the sides. We have these vertical panels. These are all things that we saw in Africa. It may not be obvious to everyone, but we wanted it to be part of the experience here.
To the seamless barriers between those enclosures.
In the old zoo, we used caging to contain the animals, but in the new zoo, we wanted to use their natural behaviors to help us contain them. So we created a moat that was 16 feet deep, 20 foot wide between the hoofstock and the lions. The lions can't get out there, and the hoofstock eventually learned that the lions can't get out there. Originally, they were all on high alert because they didn't understand how the moat worked.
A master of disguise of sorts, best seen or left unseen with the lions and the savanna hoofstock.
Africa is not just a series of animals that you see. It's an ecosystem, and they all live together. They all depend on one another. And the trick is to try to show that to the public.
Now, it was a career not even the man who hired him believed would blossom into this lifelong legacy.
His sense of duty to this organization, his loyalty to the organization is unsurpassed.
Leaving a Texas-sized hole in a place he loved for 40 plus years.
It's going to be a board that's going to be difficult to replace, I can tell you that.
Especially with such a big personality.
Have you been up here to get a cupcake?
I'm headed that way.
Good.
His infectious laugh. We know where he is by just listening for that laughter and his positive outlook on things.
But even into retirement, Tucker's fingerprints are still being left on the zoo's upcoming plans.
The birds free flight in there, and the people can walk through the exhibit.
As some of his ideas are being brought to life in the new Amazon River's Edge exhibit opening a little later this year.
There'll be a jaguar exhibit over here, some small mammals over here, I think sloth and things like that.
Tucker graciously walking us through the progress that's being made on his first time back since he retired in May.
It's a little melancholy. I really am enjoying retirement, but I do miss what I did my whole life long. And I think about it all the time.
Feeling the weight of those lasting memories while also witnessing the impact for generations to come. And that's why Mike Tucker meets and exceeds the gold standard in my book. Well, Mike told me he worked virtually every aspect of the zoo, from when he was a teenager as a cashier up to animal curator, earning him an honorary day by Tyler Mayor Don Warren. But Obviously, we had to ask him what his favorite animal was, and he said all of them, of course, but especially the time he got to spend with those elephants and, of course, his beloved birds. Casey, Isaac, back to y'all.